Today we're going to take a deep dive into what it takes to mount these seats inside this cargo van. These are the 18-inch CVC captain's chairs. They have, I think, one level lower is the commuter. This is one up from whatever that is. So it's got the leather or fake leather, vinyl, whatever you want to call it. Child safety seat restraints were a must-have for getting these seats. And then I knew another couple brands did not have it, so commuter van conversions kind of nailed it with the smaller 18-inch seat, having child restraints, the DOT stuff, all that. Yeah, bang up job on that. The construction looks pretty good from now. I mean, you can't really tell until we wear them in for a little while and all the seams really get some wear on them, and we'll see. Okay, so after looking underneath the van, I have mapped out all of the cross members and frame rails that we have under there. I'm going to go back under there, take measurements off of those cross members, and then show where the fuel tank is, which it's over here in this area. And then we're going to figure out where we can put our seat bolts. The hardest part about this by far was trying to find a spot that worked well for the feng shui of the van, but also didn't run into any of the components underneath the vehicle, like the fuel lines, electrical cables, exhaust, the heat shield, right, the fuel tank, or any other components that may be running through there. We've got frame rail here, or the cross member here, and then we'll have bolt holes coming through right here. So this looks pretty clear. This ridge that's the farthest down that somebody already drilled a hole through, this is the center line of the van. Here's the frame rail, so we can't go through there. This is a no-go area. Cross member is a no-go area. So we got our bolts lined up back here. Now if we measure forward 13 inches, which is the whole center to center, on our mount, you can see we're pretty empty up here. We've got enough room for our bolt holes. We just got to make sure that we know about those wires for the O2 sensor and all that stuff. Now let's turn around to the other side and see what we got. Remember, this is the forward bolts, and we've got fuel lines. So the sending unit, we've got all of the fuel lines, and then this cable is the e-brake cable. We may be able to work around that. Let's take a look back behind, and all we've got is the e-brake cable, and it looks pretty clear. So that'll be pretty easy. We just got to drop the tank down a little bit and take a better look where that sending unit is. So on this fuel tank, you'll find 3 straps, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to loosen up this back one a little bit. I'll take this middle one and then this front one off. I'm going to use a floor jack to hold underneath this and then lower it down a little bit. That way, hopefully I'll be able to get to the underside without taking this thing all the way out.
Come on, bitch. Come on now.
Oh yeah. Come to daddy. Don't worry. For when you just need that little bit of extra. Oh, fudge. I know it. Hold on. Let's see if we can't lower this thing down. Not with me under it. I'm gonna go out. All right, nice and easy. One-handed. Oh, slowly, slowly. All right, we're gonna stop right there and take a look. That gained us an 1.5 inches. After dropping the tank a little bit more, I marked the center lines of the holes and drilled a pilot hole. After I drilled that pilot hole, I stuck the rest of the drill bit all the way down and went underneath to check to make sure I wasn't going to hit anything when I drilled the rest of the way. I used a step bit to drill out the holes to the desired size and then prepped and painted to prevent rusting. The hardest one of these bolts to get into place was obviously the one above the fuel tank. With a little bit of finagling and fancy fingerwork, I got it into place. I put the rest of the bolts and backing plates in place and then later realized that I wanted to seal around the holes so water didn't get in and get to the subfloor in the van. All right, I'm finishing up with mounting the seats in the cargo van. I've got enough space to get into the driver's seat. We can move about the van most efficiently in all areas, through here to the back, up to the front, and then also, you look, I will be able to get through, squeeze through right there. So it's kind of trying to make the best of every situation. This one's already mounted, it's in there. 7-year-old seat. Well, it's not 7 years old, it's for my 7-year-old. Let me know what you think. Probably one of the most important parts in this process is following the instructions. This will make sure that you pass the DOT inspection and you're going to be allowed to have passengers inside your van. I got these seats in, they're pretty cool, but what am I going to do back there? As always, thanks for watching and let me know in the comments below what you think. If you want to see the rest of this build, click that subscribe button to be notified on all my future videos.